And good afternoon. I'm Alan Cook, the proud owner of the Midionpassion painting, which the world has learned about over my many YouTubes. Now I want to show you that the Mona, as you can see, is a young lady. The Midion is a more mature lady. Now I'm going to show you the area in here on the Mona, and I'm going to show you the area of approximately half of my painting in an X-ray getting blown up in a section. That is the same that what is in the Mona. These are facts. These have not been altered. None of my YouTubes have been edited or altered. Editing doesn't hurt it, but still, just letting you know, I've just done exactly as it is. As you see here, it actually spells out the man he lived with. S-A-L-A-I. I'll blow it up for you to see. You see that? Let me zoom in for you. S-A-L-A-I. In an X-ray. S-A, which represents a U and many others. Here's the L, and here's an A again, and here's an I. The same exact writing that you will see in the Mona. Now let me put this down. Now it's going to be a little tricky for you to see this, but let's see if you can see it. Okay. For you to understand where we're coming from is that the works of Leonardo Da Vinci is a very tricky guy. He writes Salai everywhere. I mean, all the way across her whole face. But let me show you certain areas in which he's done. Here's an S in black. Okay. Here's an A. Okay. And then he uses his L that comes across right in here. Okay. And then he uses a little A here. And then he uses a hidden I. You see the I piece, but the other particular part of the I is in black. Now, we know it's here because if you remove this piece, you can see it highlighting the bigger S here, but if you move it out of the way and go into another section that is into a different area, you can see how there's a big S running through here. So, and here's an A, and here's an L. Here's a backwards A, and then here's an I. Now remember, if you see items that looks like an S over the top of another S and it continues, yes, he kept writing over the top of his writings, and he kept doing art over the top of his arts. So many of his works are buried to be extremely, and that's not even a nick of a word to say for the extremely, difficult to try to read. He's always constantly writing. I mean, if you see the writing across here, you'll see that these are people in here. These are stories. These are thousands and thousands of little stories of people and cartoons. It gets really, really, really odd with this guy of his works. Let's see if I can bring up his work. Let's see if I can do this one. Okay. If you take a look in the lightweight area, you see an S. And then there is actually a hidden A in here. And then there's an L. And then there's an A and then an I. But when he overlays, you can see a bigger S that comes down like this and actually flutters. And this is one of his overlayments of it. He actually goes with a big S that flows from here, that cuts into the black and cuts over to here as a big S. And then he puts his A in many different ways. Here's his A cutting into it, and here's his big L, and then he gets his A again, and then he gets his I. And you see the little doggy. But it looks to me also something which a word in which I've learned about, of course, in my time of study. It looks like he spelt out Satan. That runs across here too. And so Salai was called Satan as through Leonardo da Vinci's times. But when you take a look at this, and I get into seeing if I can find the black and white in here, and seeing if this changes. No, it's already been changed, so that's not going to work. But let's see if I can do exposure, and let's see if that works. Oh, I know what's going on. I didn't click on this, so that's what's going on. Sorry, got to get on my game, huh? Okay. You see part of the S occurring? Watch this. Do you see part of an S occurring here? Let me get it back up a little more. Here's part of an S coming. And so that's how hard it is for you to pull it. So he has S, A, L. All you know is that it's going to spell out that way for you to keep following. Then you have an A, and then you have his I again. Here's part of the I, and it runs into the black. And then what you keep doing is following this in the sense of his colors. I mean the colors of the changing of the pictures that are in. So when you cancel that out and you pull this down and you go into this one, you can see you can see where it says Salai again. S, plain and simple. That's an S. Then he has his A in the middle, L, A, and I. And don't forget, he continues. S, A, L, and he puts a little A, and then he puts a little I in between the L. And he just keeps continuing. He spells his name, my guess, he probably spells his name 20 million times. Leonardo da Vinci was obsessed with the Mona Lisa. That wouldn't surprise you. Your life of hearing about Leonardo da Vinci's works. Okay, now for another thing for you to understand. In his works, he loved her so, he actually spelled out love. Now, her face is a big O, and then there's a V in here, and then there's an E. So it actually spells out L-O-V-E, love. That's one of his codes. And he spells that out a couple million times throughout the painting. So anyway, I want to say, hey, God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the subscriptions. And thank you for the kind comments. Stay safe. Amen.